Okay. Hi. Am I audible? Cool. It's working. Hi, Shubham. Hi, Shubham. Hi, Yash. How are you? Welcome to AccioJob's YouTube channel. Hi, Gajula. Hi, Ram. How are you guys? So we'll be starting in 2 minutes. Until then, we can have some chat, right? Hi, Anand. Hi, SK. Hi, Thiru. So, can anybody tell me why we are here today? What are we going to learn? Good evening, Narendra. Java versus JS. Which language is best? Anand, your question, Java versus JS, which language is best? Well, both of these languages have different types of use cases, right? So we cannot really compare them. JavaScript has a lot of features which Java doesn't, and vice versa. Anand will be discussing about Java and about JavaScript as well. Well, they are not similar, they are not same. Okay, Java is different, JavaScript is different. Okay, we'll be talking about JavaScript's history as well, how it came into existence, right? So we'll discuss it there. Yash says for programming languages. Oh yes, that is correct. To learn about different languages and their use cases, correct. Astha says programming languages. Well, yes. So we'll be discussing about programming languages, what they are, um, how many types of how many types of programming languages do we have. So let's start, shall we? Okay. Okay. So is my screen visible to everyone? Okay. Perfect. So let's quickly start. First of all, I'll introduce myself. My name is Ayush Bansal, and today we'll be discussing about programming languages. I am a engineer from TTU. I'm currently an SD and mentor at AccioJob. So, on that thought, let's quickly begin. Okay. So, what are we going to discuss today? We'll be discussing what are programming languages, right? Why do we need them? What is the importance, and why there are so many programming languages, right? So, of course, we'll be discussing a very interesting topic called like what are languages you guys, as those wannabe coders, wannabe programmers, should learn in order to kickstart your coding journey, right? So, yeah. So, let's start our today's webinar, today's session on a great code by Martin Fowler. So any fool can write a code that a computer can understand. Good programmers write code that humans can understand. Okay, so our goal should be to write a code that anybody and our fellow programmers, our fellow coders, those can understand, not only computer. Okay, so guys, have you guys seen all these apps in our day-to-day life? Can anybody tell me what are these apps? Which is the most used app by you guys? Okay, Google. Yes, says Google, right? Google. And how about Twitter, Meta, WhatsApp, YouTube? Well, that's Reddit, Narendra. So all these applications are built in some of the other programming languages. My main motive to create this particular slide was in order to tell you guys right how important programming language is, right? See, if programming languages hadn't been there, all these apps cannot be built, right? So now you guys already know how important programming languages are in our day-to-day life, and how every single social media application that we currently use, we spend hours every day surfing something, googling something, watching videos on YouTube, connecting with people in our network on LinkedIn, connecting with our friends on Instagram, Discord, mailings through Gmail. All these applications are built using any of the programming languages that we have right now. Okay, so moving ahead, what is programming language? Before we learn that, let's first learn what is programming, right? So, what is programming? As I have written in the slide itself, putting simply, programming is giving a set of instructions to a computer to execute. Okay, programming can be done using a variety of computer programming languages that we'll be discussing later. It might be JavaScript, it might be Python, it might be C++, right? So, programming is a process of creating a set of instructions that we, as a programmer, as a coder, we tell a computer how to perform a task. Okay, programming can be done in variety of computer programming languages. We have told that if you have never learned a program before, if you have never learned how to program before, you might be wondering, no, see what programming actually is. Well, when we write a program, we are giving computer a series of commands. Okay, there are small commands, small set of instructions that we give to our computer, to our machine. That kind of that would look like a weird form of English. Okay, not exactly English. It might be a very weird form of English. You can think, and that set of instructions has to be followed by our computer, our machine, as a very obedient dog, you can say. Okay, so what our computer does is it listens to every command that we give to it, and it performs a certain set of instructions, and doing whatever we tell it to do. So that's what's so cool about programming, right? Because it turns out you can use programming for almost everything. In the previous slide we saw that a lot of social media applications that we use on our mobile phones. In fact, the mobile uses Android, right? Android is also built in some of the other programming language. Okay, so that is the very importance of programming language. Why we need programming? Okay, so programs that we build as a coder, program controls robots. They can take care of patients. My favorite, like robots can roam around the Mars. The Curiosity rover you might have heard of, right? Yeah. So programs help self-driving cars. They can help cure diseases. Most of the games, okay. A lot of you guys must have must have played some game, PUBG, Valorant, Angry Birds, Minecraft. Yes, right? Guys in the chat, are you guys there? Clash of Clans, yes, yes, yes. Okay. So yeah, all these applications, like in fact, when we want to go to a certain place, we use Google Maps, we use Wikipedia, yeah, right, to get some information for our homework while we were in school. Yes, says BGMI. Of course, yes, yes. Okay, yes. So YouTube and of course now AccioJob.com, which a lot of you guys must know, right? So all these are written using some of the other programming language, and it is done using programming. Okay. So moving ahead to the most important question, why we are here, right? What is a programming? Okay. Okay. Before that, guys, I want you guys to guess how many programming languages do we have right now in the world? Like, how many programming languages exist? Any guesses, guys? 200, 300, 100, 50, 5. Any guesses, guys? I think the YouTube's live chat is a little slow. Um, I'm not receiving any responses. Google says 9,000. No, of course, not that big a number. Okay, well, moving ahead. 25. No, no, no. Okay. So, how many programming languages are there? As computer have evolved, many different programming languages have been created. I think as far as I remember, Java was created in 1995. So, yeah, although we have several dozen languages listed on our site, there are hundreds that we don't have listed. Okay, to get an idea of different programming languages, you can visit the Hello World collection we have on Google. Okay, which gives a demo of how to write in over 591 languages. Yeah, so we have 1800 plus. Yeah, 1800 plus languages. Yes, that is correct. Okay. So, coming on to the major question, why we are here, what is a programming language? Right. So, guys, according to you, what is a programming language? Can anyone write in the chat? Okay, then we'll discuss it in detail. Good evening, Divyanshu. Guys, can anybody type in the chat according to them what is a programming language? Gives set instructions to computer to execute. Okay. Well, that is programming. Okay, and in programming we give certain set of instructions to computer to execute. Well, that is correct. Yeah, I'm asking what is a programming language? Set of instructions to communicate with computer. Okay, I'm good. To give commands to computer means we have to build some apps by using programming codes. Okay, anybody else? Okay, so so let's start now. Okay, as I mentioned in the slide as well, a programming language is a computer language programmers use as computer is known as dumb. Okay, Narendra has a very nice answer, I believe. As computer is known as a dumb machine. So in order to perform some task, we give computer set of commands to perform tasks. Okay, programming language is any set of rules that converts strings or graphical programming language to various kinds of machine code output. Well, Narendra, Tarun, you guys are correct. The Vyanshu programming language with code readable and is useful for users. Yeah. Okay. So let's now discuss what programming language is. Well, a programming language is a computer language programmers use to develop some softwares, to run scripts, to create scripts, and give our computer a certain set of instructions for computers to execute. Right. I think it's in a very easy to understand language I've written in the slide. So yeah, we first we will read the definition. Now after that we'll be discussing what it actually means. Okay, for these are the answers that you need to give in an interview. Okay, if someone asks what is a programming language, you have to tell a programming language is a computer language programmers use to develop software programs, scripts, or other set of instructions for the computer to execute. Okay, code comes in different flavors, right, guys? See, code can be written in various languages. I'm calling that languages as different flavors. Okay, some popular languages are okay in the following figure. The figure I'll be showing you after that. Okay, and programming languages are just like some spoken languages that we have, like Hindi. We have English, French, Japanese. Okay, it's just a way to communicate with each other, right? It is a way of programmers to communicate with the instructors. Okay, moving ahead. Generally speaking, okay, guys, a program is a set of instructions written in a particular language. Okay, that particular language is a programming language. That particular language can be C, can be C++, can be Java, can be Python, can be JavaScript, can be C hash, right? Can be any, like hundreds of languages that we have. That can be any one of them. Okay, although talking about, okay, Divyanshu says, for example, Java is a platform independent and object oriented language. Yeah, that is okay. Moving ahead. So, although many languages share some of the similarities, okay, Java and C++ has some things that very much common. If you have learned Java or C++, the for loop is very much similar to how we create it. Okay, once a programmer learns the language rules, there are a set of rules in the particular language. There are a certain set of syntax. Okay, certain rules. There's a structure that you have to create a class, you have to create a function, anything. Okay, then you write the source code in a text editor or an IDE. Okay, so guys, you must know what a text editor is, right? If you want to write code, if you want to compile a code, you need an IDE or a coding compiler. Okay, in order to compile the code and run what the desired output should be. So yeah, the programmer often compiles the code. Okay, and after we compile our code, what in whatever programming language that we have used, okay, हमने कोई भी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज यूज करी हो, चाहे वो C++ हो, चाहे वो Java हो, okay, once we compile that particular code we have written, okay, वो code is converted into machine language. Okay, we'll be discussing what kind of programming languages we have that can be understood as by the computer. Okay, machine language is the one that is understood by our computer. Okay, that is why we need a compiler or an interpreter. Okay, these are used to execute or convert our programming language into computer understandable language. Okay, right. Okay, moving ahead, what are programming languages? अगर मैं इसके बारे में और बताऊं, प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज एक तरह से टूल होता है गाइस. ओके, सो इट्स अ टूल जिसमें हम इस टूल की मदद से, विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस टूल, ओके, वी राइट सर्टेन इंस्ट्रक्शंस कि कंप्यूटर को ये करना है. ओके, ये चार चीजें उसको कंप्यूटर हमारे कंप्यूटर को एग्जीक्यूट करनी है, हमारे कंप्यूटर को फॉलो करनी है. एंड कंप्यूटर कैन थिंक ओनली इन बाइनरी. ओके गाइस, computer can think only in binary, that is in ones and zeros, right? You guys know what a binary language is, right? Binary means, everybody in the chat, guys, what is binary? Zeros and ones, correct, Narendra? Rohan, 0 and 1. Yeah. Okay, guys. So I think I have a very intelligent audience today. So yes, programming language से हम प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज एक प्रोग्रामर को अलाउ करती है to translate anything that we want to computer into ones and zeros. Correct, Chandra Hassan. I'm sorry. So yeah, Chandra Hassan is correct also. So we convert programming language allows us to translate the ones and zeros into something that human can understand. Okay, and vice versa. So in order to conclude, programming language is made up of series of symbols and that serves as a bridge and allows humans to translate our thoughts, okay, into instructions a computer can understand. See, अगर मेरे को एक प्रोग्राम बनाना है, ठीक ठीक है, कि जिसके अंदर what we do is we take an array input from the user and we print only those elements which are divisible by 3. So I need to tell computer, right, because computer won't understand my emotions, okay, what I am thinking. If I tell you that I want to take an input from the user and want to show only those elements which are divisible by 3, you might be able to understand what I'm saying, but computer को कुछ समझ नहीं आएगा. उसे एक पर्टिकुलर सेट ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शंस चाहिए, जिसे जो पहले मैं दूंगा उसको, फिर वो कंपाइल होगा, उसको मशीन लैंग्वेज में मिलेगी वो सेट ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शंस, एंड फिर वो फॉलो करेगा. ओके, दिस इज व्हाट इट डज. ओके, दिस इज द यूज ऑफ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज. हम अपने थॉट्स, हम अपने सेट ऑफ टास्क दैट वी वांट टू अकॉम्प्लिश, हम वो प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज में लिखते हैं. प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज इज कंपाइल्ड और इंटरप्रेटेड into machine language, and then computer follows that set of instructions. Okay, is that clear, guys? Sabko clear hai what is a programming language right as of now? What is the use of programming language? Why do we need them? What is the importance? Yes, no, anybody? So please explain in English. um, okay, Ram, I think I was explaining English only, but okay, I'll continue in English only. Okay. Okay, Narendra says yes. Ram says yes. Chandra Hassan Reddy says yes. Okay, guys. So good to know that you are now comfortable with what is a programming language. Why do we need them? Okay, we have already covered what is a programming language. Why do we need them? We need them to tell computer what to do. Okay, programming language helps us write a program. What are programs? Programs are a set of instructions that we give to computer. Right? Okay, many yeses. Okay, good, good. So, guys, so there are two things: programming languages and scripting languages. Programming languages and scripting languages, they're often considered the same, but have a lot of differences. Okay, so in my next slide, you will be getting to know what is a programming language and what is the difference between programming language. Divyanshu says, sir, please explain what is the importance of programming. I think in one slide, okay. So here we have, guys, this is the next thing that we are going to discuss, programming language. And this question is a lot of times asked by a programmer, because in order to test someone's skills, one should definitely check the basics, not the top, the basics. Okay, if the very foundation is not clear of a programmer, then I think it would be a problem for them to crack any interview. Okay, so this one question: what is the difference between programming language and a scripting language? That thing is asked quite many times during the interviews. Okay, during any once, if two programmers are interacting with each other, they try to test each other by asking such questions. Okay, so guys, what is the difference between programming language and scripting language? These are the two things that are often considered the same, and many people get confused what is the difference between them. So to start with, the first difference, let's start. A programming language is an organized way of communicating with the computer, right? So it's very organized. We have a set of rules in a programming language with a set of instructions and so. See, whereas a scripting language is a programming language that supports scripts. Okay, so programming is a traditional programming. Like, see, in programming language, traditional programming is based on low level languages, right? Whereas in scripting prefers high level languages. Okay, we'll be discussing in detail what are the three main types of programming languages: high level, low level, okay, everything. And before that, we must discuss what are programming languages and what is the difference between programming language and scripting language. Okay, so one thing that is more important, the most important thing is, in a programming language, more code is written generally. Okay, unless and until it's Python. Okay, but in scripting language, this we are talking about in a general sense. Okay, so in scripting language, less coding is required. In programming languages, it is a general notion that more code needs to be written. Okay, so the traditional programming languages are C, C++, Java. Okay, guys, in the chat, do you guys are familiar with any of the languages that we'll be discussing? That means hmm. Okay. So moving ahead to the next very important part, types of programming languages, guys. This is a very important thing. What are the types of programming languages? So have you is my screen visible, guys? Yes or no? Guys, is my screen visible? Cool, cool, cool. Okay, okay. So here we have a very and again a very important question. What are the types of programming languages? Okay. So if someone asks what are the types of programming languages, well, it can be divided into a lot of numbers. We can say there are 10 types of programming languages. But if we talk about the main kinds, we have three main kinds of programming languages: machine language, assembly language, high level language. Okay, I'll be discussing about every single one in detail right now. Okay, so let's start, guys. First of all, let's talk about the most difficult one and most difficult to write, difficult to understand one. That is the machine language. Well, it is difficult to understand by us, by humans, but it is the most easiest way for the computer to understand. Okay, in fact, computer understands only machine language. Well, it is the language of machines. Okay, as the name suggests, machine language. That means it is the language of machines. Okay, it consists of only ones and zeros. Guys, we discussed a few minutes back. What are ones and zeros? Ones and zeros are which language? Guys, quickly. Ones and zeros. We discussed just few minutes ago. Which language consists of ones and zeros only? Machine language. Binary. That is correct, Tarun. Okay. So yes. That ones and zeros, that particular bits are put together into chunks. Chunks, that means group. They are grouped together like bytes. One byte. Guys, remember, one byte equal to 8 bits. Okay. One byte equal to 8 bits. Okay. So and a lot of other larger sizes we have, like bits, bytes, MB, KBs, GBs, terabytes. Okay, but it's highly unlikely you'll. So this is machine language. It is written in ones and zeros. Okay, but guys, we also need to discuss it from a user point of view, right? Because we as a coder, would we be writing machine language ever? Guys, it's so answering to that question, will we able will we ever write a machine language, that is, will we ever code in 1 and 0? Well, it is highly unlikely that you will ever be coding in ones and zeros. Okay, you will ever have to, it's highly unlikely you will ever have to write a machine language. Because but in the old days, see, we have a lot of frameworks now, we have a lot of programming languages now. So we have compilers, we have interpreters. But during the old days, our fellow programmers, used to plot ones and zeros on a graph paper, and then type them in the computer. And all this hefty task was just done to print a screen, to make a picture appear on a computer screen. So it was a very tedious task. Machine writing codes in machine language is very difficult. Okay, guys. So moving ahead, what is a next type of language? That is assembly language. Well, assembly language is a little easier than machine language. Okay, but not very much. It's not that there is a much difference in the difficulty level to write a machine language or assembly language. Okay, but assembly language is a little easier than machine language. Not much. It uses more convenient numbers. We have symbols. We have abbreviations, and to describe the huge strings of ones and ones. Okay, ones and zeros. Sorry. So although it's a little bit easier, but still writing only in few things, few convenient numbers, symbols, abbreviations, and in order to make a huge ones and zeros string, that is still a tedious task. And more memory, although it makes it a little easier and more memorable to type the instructions. Okay, So moving ahead, the computer knows that certain set of strings are commands. Okay, commands are certain set of instructions, certain set of strings. So, assembly language, guys, this is very important. Assembly language lets you use English-like strings instead of numbers to to refer to those. Okay, assembly language, you have access to all kinds of resources to use a programming code, and then you tell a program called an assembler, okay, to assemble your instructions, which means they that particular code that you have written, that is then converted into ones and zeros for the computer to understand. Is it clear, everybody? Assembly language सबको clear हो गई? Is it clear to us, everyone? Yes, no, guys, quickly. Well, we have already discussed two important types of programming languages: machine language. Divyanshi says clear. Well, that is good. Else, Om Kumar says clear. Okay, so I sum up all the three languages at the end. Okay, yeah, Ankur says good. Ankur says yes. Okay, good, good. So the third type of programming language are the high-level language. Well, this is where we come in. Okay, these languages use English-like statements. Okay, print ln that you must have seen in Java. Okay, and we have symbols, and they're independent of the type of computer you are using. Okay, you can use whether you can use a MacBook, you can use a Windows, you can use Linux. Okay, that doesn't matter here. Okay, so what I was saying is that that the type of languages, the high level languages, are independent of the type of computer you are using, guys. Okay, you can even put in lots of English labels and comments. Okay, guys, do you know how to put comments in in Java, in C++? Well, there's the two backslashes. Okay, two slashes. Yeah, so that is used to comment, and in assembly or in assembly language or machine language, well, it was not possible, but in the high level languages, we can comments, we can put comments. See, all this makes our program, okay, high level language may, all this makes our program easy to read and easy to modify. If we are using comments, correct answer. If we are using comments, guys, so it automatically makes me as another programmer who has never seen your code, who's never written anything in your code, easier to understand, right? So this is where what are the advantages of high-level programming languages? There are far more high-level languages than any other type of computer language, and each one of them are tailored into a certain kind of use. Okay, like one programming single line command, multi-line command. Yes, Chandrasan, we have single line comment and multi-line comment. That is correct. Okay, for example, okay, guys, can anybody guess which one was the first high-level language we had? First high-level language, which one was that? Any guesses? No Google, guys. Don't please don't Google. Google करके तो सारी चीजें आंसर कर सकते हो आप. Any guesses? Java, C++, Fortran, Fortran. C. Okay, the first high level language was Fortran. Okay, Fortran. Okay, Fortran, which was mainly used for scientific stuff. Okay, no, Pranav, Python is not. Okay, Python is a fairly young language as we talk, if we talk about. Okay, so yeah, Fortran was the first high level language that we had. Okay, that was quickly followed by COBOL, by operating system C++ and C, right? Say, okay, it was C was one of the earliest languages that we had, which had a huge impact on on the programming world. But yes, that is also one of the earliest languages, but not the first one. Okay, so yeah, I think now we have discussed. Yeah, Shraddha says Fortran. Okay, Fortran. It's Fortran. Okay. So now we have discussed what are the three types of programming languages. Machine language. It is very much difficult to write zeros and ones. Assembly language. It has some more features apart from zeros and ones. We can use symbols. We can use statements. uh, we can use some numbers and symbols and etc etc. High level language is more convenient, more and more convenient. We can add comments, we can easily write. It is more English, more related to English. Okay, so yeah, guys, this is a very important slide, and it took me a little too much time in order to find out what are the top programming languages. Because see, what are the top programming languages can be a very subjective question, right? According to me, C++ can be the best programming language. According to you guys, according to Ankur, C can be the best programming language. According to Pranav, Python can be the best programming language. So, whose advice to consider? Whose opinion to consider, right? So, I went on GitHub and I searched what are the top programming languages that the GitHub has. Okay, see, however, it was the best method I could find, and to rely the data on GitHub. Right? Those who don't know GitHub, is a repository. GitHub is a place where we have thousands and millions of software projects. We have web projects and we have websites stored on GitHub. Okay, it is a place where people store repositories. Okay, guys. So we are not here to discuss GitHub, but that would be another session. What is Git? What is GitHub? Version control systems, etc., etc. We'll be discussing that in another session. Okay. So yeah, according to GitHub, it shows that the top 10 programming languages are JavaScript, Java, Python, PHP, C++, C#, TypeScript, Shell. Guys, everybody can either take a screenshot of this, or you guys can come later to watch the video on AccioJob's YouTube channel, right? So this is what I found, that most of these languages are the top languages that we can see out there. We can have most of the MNCs, most of the startups, they are using these languages in order to create their own software. Is that clear, guys? Guys, I think, is this slide clear? I think now everybody listening to me right now knows which are the top 10 programming languages we have right now, and what are their hierarchy, rank wise. Okay, guys, one question apart from this. Have you guys ever heard of TypeScript? Who else who all guys in the chat have ever heard of TypeScript? Okay. So yeah, moving ahead, let's now discuss what are the top programming languages to kickstart your coding career in 2022. Right. So this is a very important slide that you guys must know. According to me, according to and I searched a lot on the internet, what the different people. Narendra says yes, heard of TypeScript, but no idea what it's used. Maybe similar to JavaScript. Well, we'll be discussing TypeScript today, and you would be getting to know what TypeScript is, because I thought I was first only going to discuss Python, Java, JS, and C++, but I thought that discussing TypeScript in the session today would be very much fruitful for you guys, beneficial for you guys. Okay, so guys, this is the most important thing. These are the top 5 programming languages that you can learn, that you guys can learn to kickstart your coding career in 2022, guys. Okay, so moving ahead, let's start with Python. Okay, guys, you guys tell me, what do you know about Python? Why Python? What is the use of Python? I think a lot of you guys have learned what you have Python as programming language. It's a very good one. It's easy to learn, etc., etc. Right? So let's start. So Python is one of the most popular programming languages and is easy for beginners like us to learn because of its readability. Okay, it's free, it's open source, right? It's an open source programming. It has a great support online. Okay. Yes, Naeem says it's easy to learn. Yes, that is correct. It's easy for beginners to learn because of its readability. Yeah, it has extensive support on online community. It has a great online community where you can go and ask your doubts. And it, of course, talking about the integration with our existing apps, it has a great, easy to use integration with web services. There's a user-friendly data structure. The GUI is good, and that is why it is a popular programming machine language. Of course, one big use case of Python in the industry, if I talk about why Python is used, well, it is very popular among machine learning and deep learning enthusiasts. Okay, Python. Okay, what is machine learning and deep learning? Well, it has some use of data collection and how data can be showed and how a machine can learn. Okay, via data, and we can predict the futures. Okay, like probable data. So we'll be discussing that also in some other session. So yeah, why Python is so popular in machine learning and deep learning applications? Python can be used to develop 2D imaging and 3D animation packages like Blender, like Inkscape, like Autodesk. It is also being used to create video games. Okay, can does anybody knows about Civilization 4 or Vegas Strike or Toontown? These are the three very popular video games that are developed in Python. Okay, and I've added to that, Python is used for scientific and computational applications like FreeCAD, like AutoCAD, and Abacus, and yeah, and by very popular websites like YouTube or Pinterest, YouTube, where we are, that is also using Python, right? So yeah, the level, as we talked about, the level of Python is beginner friendly. It's easy to learn. Um, for you guys to learn Python, you just need to know programming, problem solving, abstract thinking, etc. Python can be used to develop web-based applications and desktop-based applications, right? It's well, discussing about the benefits, the downsides, it has four major benefits. It is flexible to use. It is intuitively readable. Okay, guys, if another Python programmer is reading the code, it will be easy to understand because it's very lightweight. Okay, so it's highly regarded as the official tutorials. It has a very good documentation, scripted as opposed to compiled. Okay, so the downsides doesn't start with programming basics. Okay, and it's a little, you know, uh, it doesn't start with the programming basics. You have to know the abstracts. Too many important basic concepts need to be learned. Okay, so one language we have already discussed, guys. Is that clear? Now, does everybody know what Python is? What is the use of Python? If someone asks why should I use Python, you can definitely answer them when you can use them to learn, to get into machine learning, to get into deep learning. Okay, so that is one thing. Followed by that, it is easy to learn. That is why you guys can learn Python. Python has some great libraries, so that is one reason. Moving ahead, we have Java, right? Okay, Java must everybody must know Java, right? In the chat, those who know Java, can they raise their hand or react with yes? Yeah, Java. Okay, Zeba, excuse me, sir. I have a doubt. What is deep learning? See, deep learning is a type of machine learning and AI that imitates what human gains certain types of knowledges. Okay, like, okay, I'll just tell it in a little much detail. Okay, in very, okay, why deep learning is used. See, deep learning applications are used in industries from automated driving to medical devices like so self driving cars. And see, we have to collect data na? If a particular car is moving one way, right? You cannot determine that is the same way has it been before. So according to the previous roads that a car has went through that it will learn more. Automotive researchers are using deep learning to automatically detect objects, stop at signs, at traffic lights. So that is one use case of deep learning. Okay, guys. I hope that's clear. So moving ahead, yeah, Java. How many of you guys have heard of Java? I'll be discussing Java in a little detail, right from the history. Machine learning comes under Zeba. We'll be discussing questions after I discuss all the five languages that I want to. After that, I can take Q&A. Okay. So yeah, Java is one of the most popular programming language used today. Guys, any Java developers here? Anyone who knows what Java is, who is interested in Java? Guys, thumbs up or fire emoji for Java. Quickly, guys, quickly. Those who are interested to learn Java. Well, Java is very much industrially recognized. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so moving ahead, Java is one of the most popular programming languages used today in 2020. Let's talk about how it came here. Okay. Originally, Java was known as Oak, OAK. Okay. Java is an object-oriented programming language, and it was developed by James Gosling. Okay, and some other people also at Sun Microsystem. It was introduced to public in the year 1995. Okay, and it is widely used to create internet applications and other softwares, guys. So, uh, yeah, Divanshi, 1995. Naeem will be discussing this Q&A. Okay, the next batch will start on 28th of July, approximately, more or less. Okay, one day before or after. AccioJob's next batch is starting on 28th of July. Okay. So now, as continuing forward, we'll be discussing. Good evening, Saurav. We'll be discussing the questions, the queries, and everything regarding programming languages, regarding AccioJob's main batch. Everything we'll be discussing once we are over with the five languages that I need to cover. Okay, so I'll quickly wrap it up. Yeah, so Java is one of the most popular programming languages we have. Java is also used as a programming languages for many different programs. It is used to build games. It is used to build add-ons. Some examples of the most widely used programs in Java are Adobe Creative Suite. We have Notes. Do you guys know that Minecraft? Have you guys played Minecraft? Guys, anyone can has anyone played Minecraft? Yes, no. Okay, has anyone at least heard of Minecraft? Right, it is one. It is a very popular game among Indian youth. Yeah. So, guys, I would like to tell you that Minecraft is built in Java. It is one of the most played games in the world, and Minecraft is built in Java. Open Office, that is also built in Java. So currently, if we talk about right now, Java is owned by Oracle Corporation. This is a general purpose programming language. It is an object oriented programming language and has become a standard for applications that can use. Okay, Mac, Windows, Android, iOS, because of its it's multi-platform, because of its write once run anywhere program. Okay, guys, you can remember this. WORA, the abbreviation, this WORA means write once, run anywhere. Okay, this WORA capabilities, as a result, Java is recognized for its portability across platforms. Okay, from mainframe data to smartphones. Okay, so Java is widely used in web and applications development as well as big data. Okay, guys, this one line you guys need to remember. Java is widely used. Java is widely used in web and applications development as well as big data. Java is also used on backend of several popular websites, including, guys, you would be shocked to know that Java is used as a backend of several popular websites, including Google, including Amazon, including Twitter, including YouTube. These are some very few of the big applications we have right now that are using Java. It is also extensively used in hundreds of applications. New Java frameworks like Spring, Struts, Hibernate are also very popular and new and upcoming. Okay. First, the best thing about Java is we have millions of Java developers worldwide. There are hundreds of ways to learn Java. We have, in fact, you guys can join AccioJob as well in order to learn Java in detail. We uh, we teach DSA from basic to advanced in Java only. Because we get you guys, we teach you guys how to become a full stack web developer. Before that, we teach you guys Java in DSA and many more things. Okay, so Java programmer has Java. The best thing about Java is it has an extensive online community and support each other to solve problems. Okay, this one thing is very important for our programmers, guys. Okay, because why is it important? See, if I'm a programmer, I have my own idea in mind. Okay, and if I'm stuck anywhere, I must have any help, right? I cannot. I so that is why Java has a very good, very active online community that helps each other to perform certain tasks, right? So moving ahead, JavaScript. Okay, I think most of you guys know. I think someone in the starting asked, "What is JavaScript? What is the difference between Java and JavaScript?" So we have already discussed Java, right? Now we must discuss what is JavaScript. So JavaScript is a high-level programming language, and it is one of the core technologies of the world, guys. It is one of the core technologies of the world, and you guys would be shocked to hear that 97%, more than 97% of all the websites we have, okay, that are built in JavaScript. JavaScript was originally used only to develop web browsers, okay, but they are now used to for server-side website developments, for non-browser applications, and much more. Okay, JavaScript was also created in 1995. Okay, and initially, can anybody guess what was the name of JavaScript when it was, uh, you know, uh, when it was created? Any guesses? What was the name of JavaScript when it was created in 1995? Don't Google. Okay. So JavaScript was created in 1995 and was initially known as LiveScript. Okay. So JavaScript was initially known as LiveScript. Okay. So, however, Java was very popular programming language at that time. Okay, so JavaScript was it is a little fun story behind JavaScript. JavaScript was initially advertised as a younger brother of Java. As it evolved over the time, JavaScript, guys, as it evolved over the time, okay, JavaScript became a fully independent language, and nowadays, as you know, JavaScript is often confused with Java. One person asked in the starting only, Java and JavaScript are the same or different. Okay, there although there are certain similarities between them, the two languages are very much different. Java and JavaScript are two different programming languages. Okay, guys. So Java, as I told you, is see we are already talking about the top programming languages we have. So JavaScript is the most popular programming language in the world and is in high demand from a lot of years. And from if someone asks me, JavaScript will be in high demand for the next many years to come. Okay, so yeah, that is one thing. Skills. Why? Okay, before you guys are trying to enter the coding, okay, they are coding program like into some coding programs, or many of you guys are trying to learn, trying to find out how to enter this programming community. Okay, how to start your programming journey. So for one, I would not suggest someone to start with JavaScript, okay? Because JavaScript is mostly used to develop websites, okay? Like if I tell you, if a website is compared to a human, HTML is the bone, okay? CSS is the skin, and JavaScript is the muscle, okay? So in order to use JavaScript there, you must know HTML and CSS, okay? So before you guys start with JavaScript, I would suggest you guys to first learn HTML, then learn CSS, and then you guys can opt for JavaScript. Okay, is that clear, everyone? Guys, ये बात सबको clear हो गई? Yes, no, guys, quickly. We have to have a quick Q&A as well. So we'll be discussing some questions as well after we complete this part. Okay, we have only two languages left. Quickly, yes or no in the chat. Is JavaScript clear? LiveScript. Yes. Energy, guys. Okay, great energy, you guys. Great energy. So, guys, I think C++. Okay, who all have heard of C++ in the chat? Quickly, guys. C++. My first programming language was C++, guys. Now I know C++, now I know Java, now I know Python, I know JavaScript, I know TypeScript, I know all the five languages, but my first language, that was C++. Okay, guys, fire or Rakesh is my too. Okay. Yes. Great energy, guys. Great energy. Basics, correct. So yeah, C++ is known as a general purpose programming language. It is considered as one of the most powerful programming languages we have, and it has a wide range of industries, including VR, software and game development, robotics, scientific programming, a lot. Okay, so C++ is known as general purpose programming languages as an extension of C. Okay, we had C first, then there was a extension of C that we now know as C++. It is used to develop operating systems. We can develop browsers, we can develop games, and we can develop a lot of many big applications, many heavy applications on C++. This particular programming language, I personally find the best because for developers, this C++ is powerful, is flexible, and it can be used to develop high performance applications. It offers developers high level control over system resources and ARM memory. C++ is a high level programming language. It was developed by a very well known person, Charles Stop, right, at Bell Labs in the beginning of 1979. Yes, guys, this is a very old language to start with. The original title of C++ was C. C stands for classes, right? While he was while the founder of C++, Bajanis Stop, he was a graduate student. He found out that there is a language that exists that can give us crazy fast performance. Okay, or there is a language that can give us crazy level of high level features. Okay, but we lack the language that can give us fast performance as well and crazy high level of features as well. So he set out on his own way to create C++, and now it is used extensively and is considered as one of the most popular programming languages that we have right now. Okay, so now when he develops C++, it compiles to lean, efficient code, but also provides a high level abstraction to better manage large chunk of large level of development projects. Yeah. The language was later named as C++, as you guys now know, and sometimes it's also known as CPP. Okay, so that P stands for C++. C++, CPP, that is one thing. Okay, guys. So CPP is one of the most widely used language today. I think you guys know it. Why C++ is very good if someone asks me, well, we have classes, we have abstraction, we have encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, pointers, functionality for functions, operator overloading, and such things, such high level features, and with blazing fast, high speed. Okay, using we can write great codes. We can write very fast codes using the DSAs we have. Yes, Divyanshu, Bell Laboratories, that is correct. Okay, we have a very good, robust standard library. So all these things make me personally like C++. So last but not the least, we have TypeScript here. Okay, it's already 1 hour, but my most favorite language right now, okay, TypeScript is still left. Okay, so guys, I wanted to personally, I was not discussing TypeScript today, but as as I know why TypeScript is a very important language to know about right now, I want you guys also to know why TypeScript is important. See guys, TypeScript was is first of all, in order to brand TypeScript, TypeScript was developed in 2012 by Microsoft itself. Microsoft, such a big company, and it developed TypeScript. Okay, so TypeScript is a newcomer to the top programming languages we have right now, and it's making it headway to rank one. Okay, I believe it was developed by in 2012. It was developed by Microsoft, and there's the best thing. It is a typed version of JavaScript, and it is well suited for large uh, code bases. Okay, TypeScript is used to create JavaScript based projects with typing in both client side and server side developments, making it useful for catching errors, for preventing systemic issues, and many more. See, guys, I have used TypeScript in some of my projects, and I quite personally find TypeScript better than JavaScript. If you are using TSX, if you're using over JSX, it will come in handy sometime. Okay, during while you code, while you make big projects. Okay, so Microsoft has developed and maintained TypeScript as a programming language. This programming language on GitHub is known as a strict synthetical superset of Java. Like Java, if Java is this much, okay, if Java is this finger, then TypeScript is this entire hand. Okay, guys. So JavaScript is the TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript with optional static typing. Okay, guys. So TypeScript was named. I'll be wrapping it up now, and after that, for the next 5 to 10 minutes, so please tell syntax of C++. Well, what is there to tell about? We have using namespace history, IO stream, class name. Not sure if you have any specific um, like doubt you can ask. How can I tell about the syntax of C++? But it's easy to understand C++'s syntax because due to its online great online community and a lot of resources we have, since it is an old programming language to learn to start with. Yeah, so just wrapping up TypeScript. TypeScript was named as the most adopted tech. Okay, in 2021 state of JavaScript survey. Okay, you guys can know that. See, that is why I told you. Okay, see, TypeScript is coming to the top rank slowly and steadily. Okay, and with that, you guys will also get to know a lot. Okay, you guys must know. See, I have already told you about JavaScript. I have already told you about Java. I've already told you about Python, about C++. They're already well established languages in the industry, right? Everybody knows about them. Okay, but this TypeScript, not many people know about this language, but it is coming to the top, and it has it with its increasing use case. Um, those people who I am teaching, they must know what are the top and upcoming languages. Okay, so here it is. TypeScript skills needed. I would say basics of JavaScript. If you know, then you can learn TypeScript. It is used to develop web-based applications. It is rapidly gaining popularity among programmers, especially for large-scale programs. It is great for large-scale programs. I would say it has a fast-growing community. Okay, and it is very active too. The only bad thing about Java about TypeScript is that you need to know JavaScript in order to learn TypeScript. Okay, so that is one thing. That is it. Okay, guys. So here we are now. We are to the end of today's session. So now we can ask your queries. You guys can ask your Q&A. What all doubts you have, ir- irrespective of what we learned today. You guys can ask about AccioJob's main batch. You can ask about programming languages. You can ask about any of the languages that we discussed today. You can just write in the chat. Well, the next batch will be starting around 28th of July, and we are very enthusiastic about that. At AccioJob, we are preparing heavily. We are, yes. In which company you are? Well, I'm an SD at AccioJob only. I'm a software developer at AccioJob. Hi, Zeba. Okay, Zeba, you had some questions before. I was not able to answer. Um, Thank you, Devanshu. Hope you liked it. Zeba, could you just write your questions again? I was not able to answer it during the session. Okay, online lectures, online lecture or video recording? Well, I would suggest you guys to learn from live lectures. Okay, because see, if I am teaching something, I'll be teaching X thing in X quality, okay, in my recorded lectures as well, and X thing in X quality during the live session as well. But the only benefit you guys will have is like I would be able to answer you guys' query at the same time while I'm teaching. What is Azure? Azure is okay. Azure has, if I want to tell what exactly is Azure? Azure can be spoken about. See, it offers a lot of flexibility to a programmer, to an SDE, to learn, to create, you know, a lot of things. Azure has some great, cloud computing services, and from Microsoft only. I think Azure is from Microsoft only, and it is managed by Microsoft data centers. Um, it has some great features, great servers, etc. Why have you joined in Progress Company and from which college? Well, I'm from DTU, Delhi Technological University, and well, that is a very difficult question. Why you have been joining a Progress Company? Newcomer, where shall I start learning? Well, technical expert is asking. I'm a newcomer. From where shall I start learning? Um, Well, you can join AccioJob's main batch. If I would start with, we teach you guys, we teach you guys DSA in detail from beginners to advanced. We get you to become a full stack web developer, and then you can get placed into any company up to 41 LPA and with a minimum guarantee of 5 LPA. We have a pay after placement option in which you guys don't need to pay a single penny until and unless you get placed in a tech company in a on a tech based role above 5 LPA. Technical is what are the procedures to join? Well, you can go on to www.acciojob.com and you can log in or apply now. That way you can start with a pre-course that is starting tomorrow. सर क्लास ऑनलाइन क्लास में हो गई या लाइव या फिर वीडियो रिकॉर्डेड नहीं मैं वुड लाइक टू टेल ऑल आवर सेशंस आर live. Instructors would be sitting in front of you guys. They will be answering your questions. You guys will have recorded lectures also. Like if a session happened today at 8 to 10, right, that will be recorded and will be shared to you on your AccioJob portal only, on your Discord. Yes, that we have teaching assistants as well. Those guys will be helping you apart from instructor. Okay, see, we have an instructor who will be teaching you the concepts. We have who will be answering your doubts live during the session. We have TAs, teaching assistants. Those will be helping you throughout the process. We have module managers. We have batch managers. We have one-on-one mentorship sessions. We have mock interviews. We have HR mocks. We have technical mocks. We have unlimited questions. We have unlimited resources that you guys need. All these things would definitely, I'm 100% sure that you can become a full stack web developer with AccioJob. What is the trending language to study? Well, I discussed of some well-established languages like Java, JavaScript, C++, Python, and I also discussed the new and upcoming languages, programming languages like TypeScript. I think that was the answer to your question. So, how many months did it take to become a software developer for a fresher who does not know anything? Guys, you can join AccioJob's main batch, and we can get you from new new coder who doesn't know anything about coding, who doesn't know anything about Java, not even to create a Hello World program, and we will help you become a full stack web developer where you can create hefty, big applications all by your own. From when see the next batch will start around 28th of July. How to prepare for technical interviews? Well, there are a lot of roadmaps. There are a lot of interesting videos you can watch on AccioJob's YouTube channel. That would help you guys answer such questions. Also, once you get in the main batch, you also get to know about how to answer questions in a technical interview, and we will be training you so hard. We'll be training you in such a quality way that would eventually help you guys answer questions like what the general case is. If a question is asked in a technical interview, you have to tell the brute force, okay, like the basic, most easiest way, and then you have to ladder up yourself to the most optimized solution. Even if you know what is the most optimized solution in the first row, what is the general procedure, you have to first tell the brute force, the easiest way, and then the fastest way, the most optimized way. That is one thing. Okay, guys, I think that is it for today. I hope I get to see you, all you guys, Anil, Zeba, Aero Carrier, Thiru, Ram, Yash, Zeb, Rakesh, in the next session as well. And thank you guys for joining, and have a nice day, everyone.